You guys, we're live on my channel. Let me get my headband. My hair is, I washed my hair and my face for the first time in a few days today, so it felt good. Felt good, fam. I'm with Sam Stolt. Here we got one beautiful person watching, guys. We're with Sam Stolt. We're talking about the stuff we talk about every single day. Every single day we talk to each other around this time. We talk about making money on the internet. We talk about crypto. We talk about Tesla. We talk about finance. We talk about red pill like finance and all that stuff. Basically, we're learning how to make money off the internet with each other over the next 10 years and become billionaires. So if you want to join us, that's what we're going to be talking about. Sam, how are you doing?
I am doing excellent, brother. I had an awesome morning. I did my workout first thing. I switched up my schedule for my training. Normally I go at like 6 a.m. or just before 6 a.m. And instead of doing that, I actually decided to go at 8 a.m. And that first 2 hours, I just focus on doing work because I feel like I'm a little bit more focused during that time. And another thing I noticed, I don't know if you ever meditate or if you've ever heard of a specific type of meditation called mindfulness meditation. Think of like when we go to the gym and we train our physical body. Mindfulness meditation has been shown in many different studies to affect your brain, and it's effectively physical training for your brain in terms of where your attention is in the moment. So I've been doing it for about 3 months, and just this past week I was like, okay, let me stop this and just see if I notice a difference. I was far less effective this last week, and I just started it back up again yesterday with the meditation, because for me it is tremendously helpful to stay focused on what I'm doing. Or just, do you ever play on your phone or something and you maybe do it for 10 minutes, maybe you do it for 2 hours and you don't realize what you're doing? You might have that sensation in your mind. You're like, okay, well, think of those time periods shrinking down. So instead of losing concentration in terms of like what you're doing, like doing something that's not super intensely,
you're cutting fat off of every moment of your life is what you're doing. You're learning, you're just becoming an efficient adult at a good speed of an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur. You know what I mean? That's how I see what everything you're saying. It's like, I'm not there yet with some of those concepts because I haven't graduated from some of the smaller ones. Like I have stuff to do as far as my content creation. I have to put my heart, Sam's heart is right where his mind is. Like he has no questions when he wakes up about, is he doing the right? Well, in general, he's been doing this for a while, guys. He knows what he's doing and he likes it. I am new. This is 2 weeks in for me. So I have to really realize like, I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to learn. I got to learn how to be an internet nomad. Budget. I never have worried about budget one day in my whole life, ever. Well, I was
not
a kid most of the time, but then like over the last 5 years, I have never been in credit card debt. So I guess, or any sort of debt, but I've just done that. Like I've just paid off all my bills, and then I got into the crypto game, and that's where we're at now, guys. For the one person that's watching that I don't know who it is, we're here. We're in the crypto game. We're in the internet nomad business now. Sam's been doing this for a while. I'm just starting. Sam makes all his money online and through means of his personal mind.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I always thought that, like, I was told that because I've always been into fitness, and I had friends that did personal training, and the story that my parents told me was that, oh, you don't want to do that, you're too good for that. Like, that was the story I was told when I was younger. Not that I particularly want to do that or anything like that, but I at that time, it was like, oh, I want to figure out how to use just my mind to make money, not anything that I do physically. And that was, a couple decades ago. And now
efficiency was in your mind, though. You understood. It wasn't that that's what you naturally would have done if everything was an open landscape, but you just saw where efficiency lied. You just saw where you could do more with less. And think about it, if I'm doing 30 times more than I did when I had a job right now, I am doing 30 times more, in my opinion, 30 times more researching, contacting, emailing, calling, messaging, learning about thumbnails, learning about live streaming, all of it. I'm just spending all that time now. It would have taken me a month or month and a half to learn all the stuff I learned this morning. So you just realized, and I was realizing this the whole time, but I had a job, so I was just doing my job. But the whole time I was dying from lack of productivity within what I could potentially be doing.
I think
that was it.
Go ahead. I think that's where depression comes from. I don't really. I mean, like depression seems to be a symptom of inaction, right? Like the more people take action, the less depressed they seem to be, right? So if somebody's depressed, I'm not in that place. I'm not trying to like be, you know.
Yeah, some people are fucked up. We know that. Like, there's some people that are totally effed up. But for all you average Joes jerking off and sitting in your mom's basement thinking life sucks, in general, find something to do every day. It doesn't matter if you're making money doing it at all. Early on, it really shouldn't. You should start when you're 16 and when it really doesn't matter if you're making money. And if you can get good at content by the time you're 21, never go to college or do anything ever again in your life, because you'll network so fast that I could just call 5 people that I've networked with and say, can I have a job or some money? And they'd probably say yes, literally, because be consistent, be the person you are, always be the same person. And that's something Sam preaches a lot, to be the same person.
With my relationship with my girlfriend, there was like, that was the number one thing when we first started talking was you have to, if there's an issue in the relationship, it's my fault. It's my fault. And when you go into every situation like that, where whether she's like, she thinks she's giving me a hard time about something, or we're butting heads on something. Well, it's how did I not communicate in a way where I couldn't see her point of view? Because if I want to communicate with Scott, I have to understand the stories Scott tells himself in order to be able to articulate myself so that you can see from my point of view. If I don't understand how you see the world, then I can't use the words that you would use in order to understand how you see the world. And so
is that why we avoid people though? Is that why I avoid everyone? Because everyone seems to not understand that nuance. And I totally understand that nuance. Like, I understand when I'm walking up to a random dude at the gym, I can't just tell him, hey buddy, grow some balls and wake up every morning and go hard like me. No, that's not how it works. At that age, I was completely out of touch with any kind of positive affirmation for myself or any sort of business thought I had. Really, I was not told by anyone in particular, but I was meant to believe that I would have been in the lower IQ tax bracket per se as a youngster. Like, as leaving school, everyone said, Scott, you're a nice guy. You're very energetic, but you're not going to be a thinker, certainly. And I'm sitting over here now looking at everyone else and saying, when are you going to start thinking? Not everyone, of course. There's 10% of people that really get after it in this world. And you know that, Sam. You can run into some dudes, average Joes, but they get after it. Some. But in my experience, and I could be wrong, I'm only 28 years old. 90% of people are depressed and living unfulfilled lives in my area or the United States. You could probably say the United States fair. I've seen enough people. Because they're led to believe a narrative that isn't necessarily true about what they should be doing in the future. I was always taboo in that way, Sam. I never gave a fly. Well, yeah, I was anxious and insecure.
So I think we both agree that like one of the really rewarding things is obviously making money. That's a ton of fun. But one of the things that's even more rewarding than making money, after you get like to a good spot where you're like, okay, cool, I'm good. I have everything that I fucking need, but I still want more.
It takes forever.
It's helping people though. It's helping people. So
is that how you identify who's good? Is that how you can almost identify who is good and who's doing the right thing? Like, if someone's helping people like we are, like, you would take a DM or a Zoom call from anyone at any moment. If maybe not over and over again, but like first one, hell yeah, you would.
Well, you get I got back from the gym this morning, and my cardio, I did a walk around. There's a lake across the street, and it takes you about 30 minutes to walk around there. So I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm not going to do it at the gym. I'm going to come home. I'm going to respond to all my messages on Instagram and all my messages on Facebook and all my messages on like WhatsApp and text messages, because it's like I'm getting a ton of messages, which is a blessing, but it's also like well, I want to like do what I need to do. So like I block off time every day to just respond to messages. So that way, sometimes like if you message me and I don't get back to you for hours and hours, it's because I'm like, cool, I already responded to messages. I'm not going to look at that shit again until some point later in the day, because I'm like, I need to block off that time so that I can focus on things. So how do you think you can inspire? How do you think you can get other people to start like taking action on their life? Because, and when you answer, remember that the answer has to come from you. It's not anything that we can do to control them. It always has to be within you that would come out to influence other people.
Yeah, I don't care to influence anyone else. They just see me and they either hate me or they think I'm inspiring. Like I can't convince anyone to do anything. Exactly, Paolo. You just gotta lead by example. People just hate me usually, or people get really resentful at me, and people don't understand that I've seen these patterns for years. Like it's not something that it's hard to identify for me. So I could tell right away if someone's inspired by me or they're biased towards life is a certain way where they hate me. And there's nothing you can do to change that off the jump. You just have to be who you are consistently. And then it's the consistency piece that nobody has. I've been doing the same things. My friends have been asking me to go out for 5 years straight. I do on occasion. I go to bed at 11. They call me a dork. And I'm just consistent, like I don't, and people either like that or they don't. And that either inspires them or it makes them want to crawl more into their hole.
Have you noticed since you quit working that, and maybe it's still too early because it's only been like 2 or 3 weeks, but there's a deliberate intention every day to get better, where maybe you felt that before, but you weren't necessarily executing on it when you were working? At least that's maybe how I felt. I don't know if I'm projecting that on you, but that's how I felt sometimes when I was working. I was like, I know I could do so much more, and I wasn't fucking doing it. But now that I'm working for myself, it's just like every day I just need to get better a little bit in several areas that are important.
Yeah, mine's a little more necessity. I have a couple of business partners, so it's like I'm kind of am working in a way, but like at the same time, it's just like I can do whatever I want at this point. It's just a clean slate. I'm figuring out how to make money. I've learned enough skills over the last few years to make money doing anything really. So, I could make a couple $100 doing a lot of different things. So once I leveraged my life enough, I realized like I have too much knowledge to fail if I don't go into some horrible depression, which I haven't gone into for like a really long time, like
Well,
years
yeah,
and years and years.
I don't think you would if you'd given like the information you have now,
Mm-mm.
unless you just decided to like let go and everything. You mentioned making money, and then you also told me earlier that you claimed your hedron. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah. So basically, this is like the first time I'm streaming on this channel. So, and I just do this so I have something to do in midday. Ooh, SJ Reed Sci-Vive. Good morning, SJ. Let's show our first real commenter that's not manipulated. SJ Reed Sci-Vive, and that's the book. Sam, that's the book, Sam.
I started listening to chapter 1 yesterday while I did some yard work, and I was listening to the book. I'm definitely enjoying it.
Sam, we have 6 live viewers. That's really cool.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in.
Dude, this is Jim Rat. You probably know me if you're watching this. My personal trainer / friend / life coach / person I talk to every day is Sam Stolt, and Sam Stolt, SAMSTOLT, on all platforms for the most part.
Yes.
And we're talking about life, making money, moving forward. Oh, snap.
Human trafficker or human hexer.
Human hex trafficker. We love those kind of names. LOL, yo, let's interact with the chat. Let's see if we can get them to interact with me. This makes me really excited. I don't know why, just because I like, this is my first channel. This is my first live. Look, we got LOL, yup. Are you listening to Robo version, Sam?
So I'm listening to, there's one that came up on YouTube.
Hey, Sci-Vive, can you tell me what the best link for YouTube Sci-Vive is? So he makes sure he has the best link for YouTube Sci-Vive.
It's Ann Hex, the crypto space is the channel. It's It's definitely not. It doesn't sound like a human, but it's not like super far off. Like you can still kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah, we don't need much over here, Sam. We don't need much. I don't need much either. Like when it comes, I know audio is really important, but I could listen to some nasty ass audio. I'm not gonna lie, as long as I can take notes on it.
Jaja9021, being authentic inspires. I 100% agree.
And people forget that, Sam is not a purebred marketer. Like Sam is an authentic, truth-seeking missile. So, but he likes to be that way. That's the way he is. Like, you know what I mean? He wouldn't want to take his shirt off and do some sort of dance for clout unless he was doing it for fun. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a little different in that way. I'm more of like, I'm a younger guy. Probably a little bit, he doesn't feel like marketing himself as some kind of game, but it's a little fun for me. I can throw in a video every now and then. That's a little more fun, but it's crazy because we do complement each other well in that way. Like I'm a little bit more like what you see, the thumbnail, like the little sparkle, and you're a little bit more like get information out to the people, tell them the truth, make sure they know it's the truth, or make sure they are open-minded. Hey, Jimrod, how are you? Jennifer Miller, thank you for joining us. I am doing just fine, Jennifer Miller. And Jaja9021, thank you so much. It's great to see everyone. We're going to be doing these chats around noon as much as we can with our schedules, but we'll invite a dude on from his sector. We'll invite a dude on from my sector. We'll merge people. We'll get P on. The lovely P is here right next to me. She's working. Let's watch this one. I started listening to that one and couldn't handle the robo, so I started reading it myself. I have up to chapter 2, working on chapter 3 now. Link incoming. Also, wait. You're actually working on it, meaning that you're translating it?
Meaning probably reading it, I would think.
I know, but they're reading it on tape. But it says, look, I started reading it myself. I have up to chapter 2. Oh, I see. Never mind. Link incoming though. What link? Why link? Because it's all for free.
Well, because then I can copy it and I can listen to whatever they're listening to.
Oh, so we can actually listen. Yeah, I want to do that.
I'm happy to support you, Jim Rat. I feel my first live stream lately as well. Hell yeah.
What's your Twitter? Let me make sure I have your Twitter. Let me make sure I have your Twitter on there.
This is only I haven't done many live streams up until we started connecting again recently.
It's a great Jennifer, thanks for the sub. Jennifer, thanks for the sub, Jen. You're in the beginning of well, I'm just kidding. I don't know exactly where all my content's going to be. I'm on official pulsification every single night, guys. Every single night I'm on official pulsification. They have a huge channel. It's super hype. They're good guys. It's more of my business kind of.
SJ Reads is reading the book and recording it. That's fucking awesome,
dude. That is what I call value. That's called giving value out of thin air. That's called a free Telegram book. T.me/SciVive Telegram. T.me/SciVive. Free book, and he's just going to read it and provide value on his YouTube channel,
which is awesome. That's incredible.
It's like that's what it's all about.
What's up, Jennifer? I am doing amazing. I am loving life. Life is a blessing right now. Hey, when we do this on Thursday or Friday, I'll be driving to Atlanta, so I'll be doing it in the car live. So
let's see how it works. We'll see how it works because you know how me and the audio. Neurotic. Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yes. I leave Thursday morning at some point, or Thursday afternoon or something like that.
And anytime you get a random one of your buddies that doesn't mind coming on from the TRT community, I would love that. If you could get one of those TRT guys to just, and I'll tell them everything about crypto. Like as many questions as they have, I will answer every one of them. I want a little of that community to understand what's going on here because enriching the TRT community is very positive. It's like positive on steroids because all those guys are on steroids kind of. So, they're jacked up. They're ready to produce value. They're ready to make moves. And if they're a part of your company's advertising in the future, as far as like a brand that enjoys to interact with each other, that's big time.
And that community, I don't know how deep you were into it, but there's a lot of people in the TRT community who like don't know how to fucking make money or like.
Every community. It's every community. There's no communities that know how to make money. I would say there's I can't find a community that knows how to make money. Even the crypto community doesn't know how to make money. Every crypto video that I go to that's viral is horrible. Luther, oh my God, Luther's in the chat.
What's up, Luther?
Luther, will you come on with us tomorrow if you're up and at 'em and have free time? We'd love to brainstorm just some more like making money online, advertising, just like more so just like overarching themes. Like I don't want to get into any of our stuff super detailed on stream because me and Sam do that privately. But like, you know, when it comes to like me writing my budget out, Sam helps me with my budget. Sam helps me with my protocols. Sam helps me with that kind of stuff. And we talk anyway. This is going to be more of an open dialogue that people can digest. Hex Luther is here. Party can officially start. I agree with that. Hex Luther.
Meet Jennifer Miller if you haven't already.
Luther, I really want to send that Gerardo chat out. Me and Gerardo hit me up today. He's really jacked up about the stream tonight. We're gonna have like probably 400 live viewers easily. Paula's saying what's up to Luther. Paula, easy. No, I'm just kidding.
What's up, Luther? Yeah, Luther, you come on tomorrow around noon. I don't know what time zone.
He's in Utah.
So that's 2 or 3 hours behind us, I think. Right? 2 hours.
Yeah, he's from Utah, up in them hills where the snowboarding goes on.
10 hours.
Would you ever snowboard, Sam, or is that not in your wheelhouse?
I used to snowboard and I broke both of my arms in one day. And I had a cast on each arm. Like try wiping your ass when you have a cast on each arm. You like the one was up to my elbow. Up to my armpit on one arm, and then the other one was up to my elbow. So you couldn't do much. That might be one of the reasons why I feel more ambidextrous, because I can like eat with either hand. That could have been caused by that.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched a girl in 4th grade once trip on her shoelaces and broke both her forearms in half.
Ugh.
Like literally, she tripped on her shoelaces, like as elementary of a trip as you could ever imagine. Like coming through the double doors, those big metal double doors that are in school. Tripped straight up. She could not do shit from here. It was here to here. So she was locked at an arch with both arms.
Yes, and you can't extend your arm. My brother was in. Where was?
How's my mic, Luther? Will you comment how my mic is, please?
It sounds like utter trash, actually. Like it's just
really.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No. Kind of like McGregor snapped. Yes, exactly. So
that was so gross. Did you see that?
I don't like watching that shit. My brother went to Oregon for some stuff related to business out there that's legal out there that's not necessarily legal in other states, and he was balancing himself in the kitchen on the 2 counters with his like feet off the ground, swinging his legs back and forth, and went up really high with his legs, slipped and fell on his head and broke like part of his neck. This happened over the last like 2 months. He was in the hospital. He had a surgery where they cut through the front of your neck to like fuse. Yeah, like insane. Couldn't walk. He's like going through physical therapy. He was paralyzed from the neck down. He can. Luckily, everything's working now, but like just the dexterity in your hands to like do shit wasn't there, and like even just to be able to walk.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a similar story for a family member of mine my grandfather had esophageal cancer, and he had to get surgery standing up. So the surgery, you're actually in a metal board standing up because they have to go through your back. No, wait. Yeah, they have to go through your back into the front of the esophagus for some reason. They can't go through the front for whatever reason because they really got to he had esophageal cancer bad. Like they needed a full like reset of it or whatever, cut it out. And after that surgery, he never recovered. He'd survived the surgery, but he couldn't. His body couldn't regenerate after that.
I saw that, Luther. Oh my gosh, it made me hurt. Oh, with that thing, I didn't want to watch that.
Let's talk about making money online for a minute and passive income. Let's start with crypto and move down the line because that's kind of what I'm into. Crypto, making passive income. There's a lot of misconceptions. Let's kind of go because this is a question that you have. I know it is. Like you want to know how people are legitimately making passive income regular or not regularly, but like enough to make a difference in their day-to-day life. That's kind of what you're about. You're a budgeter. You like to live off the grid and that's the way I'm kind of moving forward too. Like
how do you make you got to make enough income to just be able to live So if you know what your burn rate is, you know what your minimum burn is, like how much you need per month. How do you make more than this so that extra delta, that extra portion above where you need to live, that you can reinvest to grow that base?
The only way to do that is to leverage inflation. It's the only way. Remember how I always tell you 2 to 3 years and you'll have money printers that you can't understand anymore because they're moving so quick? You have to capture all the inflation. You have to. You have to capture inflation. How do you capture inflation? There happens to be a thing called Bitcoin that went from 1 penny to $65,000. They figured it out. There's a thing called Ethereum. They figured it out. There's a thing called Hex. They figured it out the best way, because what they do is they give you every possible reward you could possibly get from inflation in a pool, and you're minimized to the 10% of the pool. The 90% doesn't get inflation rewards. Therefore, Hex, you're making the most passive income probably that you can, but you do have a waiting period, and that's what people don't like. But there's other things. So that's a base. I call that the retirement of crypto. That's the retirement of crypto, you know? Time in the, oh, this is good what Luther says here. Time in the market beats timing the market, Sam. So the people that are in the market, I've been in the market for a long time. And I've had time in the market. I have all that inflation. You know how much money I've spent on crypto? 12 grand max. Max. That's a max out. Like, and I don't, that's probably generous.
I talked to my buddy last night, and I was showing him, and he's in mechanics, but he's a friend of mine. He rents the other side of the place here. Jaja says Sam does not do good with flutter injuries. That is 100% correct, Jaja. And on myself, it's fine, but seeing it on other people, I let them deal with that. So I was talking to my buddy, and I was explaining to him about sacrifice and how everything works, to the point where he's never been into crypto. He's heard like the terms, but didn't understand it. And over the last like 2 weeks or so, I've been telling him more about it, and now he's excited about it. He thinks Ethereum's like ridiculous, because I was like, hey, yeah, in order to do this transaction, I got to pay $9. He's like, that's ridiculous. So he's not.
But when you're going to be more skilled at deploying your friend's good information as time goes on, because once you have charts that you know to refer to really quick, like I have 4 or 5 chart websites that I pull up, and I can explain anyone anything to the point where a really dumb normie could understand at least where I'm coming from. If you look at Ethereum, if you look at the technology, Bitcoin was the greatest technology as far as at the time. 13 years, 14 years, guys, 14 years Bitcoin's been around. The code, the system, the blockchain is not doing so hot, guys, and they can't update it because the code is outdated, kind of. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can't update it because the code is so old and the stuff is so inefficient that really you're just burning energy proportional to how much Bitcoin you have. The more energy. And like I always say, it's a geopolitical nightmare and it can't be changed. Bitcoin is old tech, guys. Ethereum came out to be new tech, the best tech. I think Ethereum is the best technology that has been created since 2000. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. Blockchain is
but just Ethereum in general. Like, I think Bitcoin was the greatest blockchain thing, but I think Ethereum was the greatest invention. As far, maybe it's not an invention because the Bitcoin guy invented it, but as far as having dApps.
dApps is the apps that can go.
Yeah, decentralized application.
Is PulseX a dApp on top of PulseChain?
PulseX is a decentralized exchange which connects the Ethereum network to the PulseChain network. So yes, it is a dApp. Yes, it is a bridge, and yes, it is a decentralized application.
And it's kind of, because of its bridge capability, it's a dApp on Ethereum, but also a dApp on PulseChain. Would that be a good understanding?
Yeah, so Uniswap is Ethereum's DEX. It's called Uniswap. It exists. That's the DEX that you go to, the premier one. There's other ones, but that's the premier. All PulseX is the premier DEX. Another man could come out with another DEX. But PulseX is the premier DEX with all the economic energy behind it already because of the sacrifice. So PulseX is the premier DEX, as Uniswap is the premier DEX. And guess what? Uniswap is the premier DEX for Ethereum. Guess who does the most transaction volume on Uniswap? Which coin? The most.
Ethereum, or what do you mean?
Hex.
How
Not
can you-
Ethereum.
How do you tell that?
Luther, how do you tell that? I saw Richard's tweet this morning. Do you have to go to etherscan.io and then go to the Uniswap V2 pool and then, but I don't know exactly how to do that. So, but I saw Richard's tweet. Go to Richard's last tweet where he pulled it up. He pulled up the stats, I think. And put your notifications on, Richard, by the way. It'll help you if you haven't already.
Okay.
Because all his tweets are money. So it's right here. Hex.com has the highest volume on Uniswap. That's not Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a stable coin. V3 and V2 stats shown. So he shows both stat sites, and it shows. And this is Richard Hart, man. He's showing this shit. He's not holding back. He's letting people know what's actually going on. He doesn't have to do all this shit. We'd find this shit out ourselves. But when it's coming from the source, people think, oh, Richard's a scammer. But like, he's telling us everything. He's showing us the stats.
So it looks like it's got not the highest, it's the 9th highest. Am I looking at that right?
Well, that's just the market cap ranking of the coin.
Oh, I thought this was a screenshot from the thing for, let's see.
Well, yeah, he says it has the highest volume. That means the most trade volume. That means it has the more people trade for Hex than anything on Uniswap.
Okay.
I think that's what it means, because you got to understand, though, Uniswap's not the only way to generate stuff. You go to Coinbase, and a lot of stuff's generated there. So that's just V2 volume on Uniswap, the DEX that they use. But that's not good. But that's not good radio.
So this on the one chart has Ether swap.
You want to pull up your screen?
Yeah,
I can do that for you, I think. JK. Anyway, we'll look into the specifics of that and bring back that information on tomorrow's episode, because I don't want to just stare at the screen and not know how to
here we go.
Screen share.
Can you see this?
Oh shit, yeah.
So this chart here, it says Hex.com has the highest volume on Uniswap. That's not Bitcoin, Ether, or stable coins. Okay, that this last part of it, this caveat, I did not.
Oh shit, I read that wrong. I'm sorry, guys. I effed that up.
So when you don't include USDC, Tether, or Ethereum, and then when you come over here, you have stable. Is Wrapped Beast?
So you're going to learn about Wrapped stuff. Let me tell you about Wrapped stuff real quick. We'll pull that screen down real quick. I'm going to because that's a big concept that you haven't dove into yet. Let's talk about Wrapped stuff. So there's some stuff on the Bitcoin network, right?
Yeah, it said Bitcoin, Wrapped Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yes.
But there's also Wrapped Ethereum, I think, too.
So wrapping something is how you turn it into another network. Another blockchain. It's almost like a loophole, because basically you're saying, I'm going to trade Bitcoin on the Ethereum network, but instead of it being called Bitcoin, it's a peg for Bitcoin, and you pay the same amount for it, but it's actually called wrapped Bitcoin, and you can trade it on the Ethereum network. You can't trade regular Bitcoin on the Ethereum network because it's not Ethereum.
Would it be like USDC? Kind of, but for the dollar, so it's not really dollars.
Well, I want you to think about USDC as Ethereum's. That's Ethereum's stable coin. There's lots of stable coins for each blockchain, Sam. Each blockchain has a different DEX, a different coin, a different stable coin, and a different native token. So BNB network, which is the Binance Smart Chain network, has the BNB token. That's the native token. They also have a different DEX. I think it's Pancake Swap. It's called Pancake Swap. That's their DEX. And it also has wrapped BNB, probably, where you can trade it on other networks.
So it's just a wrap outside of, you're wrapping something that is on a different blockchain so that it can be traded on Ethereum.
It's just a loophole to trade. Like it's dumb. Really, I think it's dumb. Know what you're doing and learn about what blockchains you want to be in and stay there. Don't wrap Bitcoin. And first of all, don't buy Bitcoin. Buying Bitcoin is so dumb, in my opinion.
Let's talk. So there's different ways to earn money with crypto, right? So you got you can buy and hold, right? You can mine, You can earn a yield. You can
Let's
get
go one.
you
Let's
can
go
get a
one by
loan.
one again. Let's start one by one again. I'm going to start with mining, right? Let's start with mining. I'm going to write this down so I stay on target. So mining Bitcoin is not profitable for the average person. For the average person, guys, not if you have $100 million that you're willing to spend. We could probably make an argument both ways. For the average dude who doesn't have $10,000 extra money, okay? Is everyone in that group? Yes. Okay. So, mining Bitcoin, the computers that they use are upgraded too quickly. Therefore, you have to buy your computers and buy new ones like a year later. That's why the cost never adds up, because you're burning so much energy, and the tech in China and Japan is so good that we're always catching up to them in the mining categories. Therefore, we're using older systems. We're not being more efficient. We're using too much energy, and it doesn't work out unless you're being super efficient, right? So you have to be super efficient.
That's the only way. But it can be profitable, but it's just one way of being profitable, because like you're mentioning, you have to upgrade your shit. But
I want to say it's not profitable. I want to.
It depends.
I want to say for the average Joe, it's not and that's my whole use case here. I'm not talking about dudes that have money. I'm talking about dudes that do not have money.
I've got a buddy who mines Bitcoin, but he would probably.
Well, can we have him on? Can we have him on? And I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I can ask him.
I want to know more about mining. My mining understanding is just that the value proposition. That's all I know about it. It's learned about it at least. Like and everything I learned is not fact, by the way.
Have you heard of helium?
Yes, but I don't know what it is.
It's think of like Verizon decentralized or AT&T decentralized, and the towers go on people's houses. So
we could get in that business. I was in the tower business for 3 years. I know a lot about that business, believe it or not. I mounted cell phone towers on top of buildings for 3 years straight. So if we ever maybe down that rabbit hole, I'll be like the construction side of it.
So you can buy these. This is one of the most profitable ones that I've seen for mining purposes. And I'm not saying you should mine, like there's many different ways to do things. And like Scott was mentioning, the shit changes, so you have to stay on top of that. Versus just if you buy, like that's the simplest way for the average person. Just buy shit and hold on to it. But there's other ways of doing things. So he buys these, and you can put them up at other people's houses, so that you don't have to pay anything. Like I'd be like, hey Scott, you're not.
I see what you're saying. You're almost like paying.
And maybe I give you $2 a month or something like that, or $4, or I split it with you 50-50. But then I don't have to do anything. It's literally at your house, and it would just continue to generate.
Yeah, but think about now we're talking about energy per dollar, right? How much energy per dollar? Not like physical.
So I think it's about 5 watts.
But human energy. I'm talking about human energy. Like how much energy is this guy putting in to make how much yield? And how much is his time worth? That's what we would really have to break down to, because at the end of the day, it's not that Bitcoin mining can't be profitable. I think Sam's right. It's that it's never more profitable than buying the token and holding it. It's never more profitable. It can't be more profitable. It's impossible to be more profitable than buying Bitcoin and holding it rather than mining it, because all the miners are doing is dumping the price. When the miners get their Bitcoin, they dump the price. It's dumping the price to waste energy. It's inefficient. It's inefficient. Hex is efficient. You don't have to do anything except wait 2 years, and then you're rich, and you can take out as much money as you effing want.
So I have because I think mining is super interesting. Like I don't know enough about it. I would like to try it just because.
Proof of stake. You already know proof of stake exists, dude. Don't mine. Proof of stake is taking over everything. Ethereum will be 100% proof of stake here shortly.
Yes, but that's what they've been saying for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but Hex came out and it's dominating all the stuff, and it's proof of stake. If you look at the chart, it's beating what Bitcoin ever did in its most explosive moments. The most explosive moments that Bitcoin has ever had have been belittled by Hex's price chart. Belittled.
So what the proof of work, I understand probably better than proof of stake. Can you talk about proof of stake more?
Proof of stake is a more efficient way to mine coin. So I'm going to talk about Hex for this example. Mining is centralized into the pools you're required to join. Can I also mine Hex? Sure. Yes, you can mine Hex.
How do you mine Hex?
I'm mining hex right now every day at 8
Oh,
o'clock.
by staking it, you mean?
Yeah. So that is mining hex. I'm just doing it myself on my computer. But instead of dumping the price and wasting energy, I'm staking and waiting and taking all that economic energy into the future just by waiting. It's just inflation. Instead of wasting energy, you're just wasting time.
But what if you didn't have to pay for energy?
That'd be lit.
Right. So
but that is not proven to be possible yet because
because nobody's just done it that you know about.
No, for sure.
What about because I'm looking into it now, putting solar on this house with batteries in the back so that I don't have to pay any of the electricity.
How much?
And then having the front whole room completely be mining. Like the whole room is just mining, and then I don't have to pay for any of the electricity.
My opinion on that is that it's not a good idea.
Probably not, but I think it might be a fun experiment.
You'll definitely learn a lot, certainly. I mean, you'll probably learn a wealth of information that no one could ever teach you. So, but long term. No, but even short term, I think you'll get wrecked because when someone says you need to buy new computers and Bitcoin's in the hole, like you're going to be like, F you. There's no chance, and your mining project's just going to end. It's just you're not going to be able to replenish your computers in time. It's that quick because the people in Japan are selling their old computers to you.
Did you see that? What is it? Intel is actually getting into making ASICs.
Hey, wait, can you speak on this for a second and I'll get into the details for a human hex trafficker? Have you claimed your free hedron, Sam Stolt?
No, but I know somebody who did, who can explain this in much detail. So you have to have hex and you have to have it staked before you can claim hedron. And I think it's only good till like mid-March, right? Is that correct?
Pretty good on the first part. So basically, if you have hex stakes, you're eligible to claim or mint hedron. That is a token which, depending on the amount of shares you have within the hex system, you gain a token amount per share. And that's how they're starting this system out. Now, you can stake your hex through the Hedron app, and that is another function. So you can actually stake your hex through the Hedron.pro app. Now, I'm not endorsing any of this stuff, nor do I have enough information to realize if you're going to get your ass scammed. But I'm telling you, I claimed my free money yesterday, and it was free money. And I mean, I spent $40, $50 on ETH fees, but I claimed free stuff, and that's what it's all about in crypto. Remember, Hex was claimed for free. Let me say that one more time. Hex was claimed for free. Let that go into your mind. There was guys like us sitting right here saying, should you claim your Hex for free? No, it's such a scam. Should you claim? No, it's such a scam. You would have been retired. Your whole life would have been over. You would have had a new business and everything would have changed. If you've done those two little things that one day, clicked the button, double click. So, guys,
does claiming only last for a period of time?
No, but you get a 10x bonus if you do it in the first 10 days. So that's why everyone's that's the incentive. Like the 10x bonus in the first 10 days is getting people in there and getting us larger stakes. Therefore, we're a larger portion of the pool. Therefore, we'll protect the price. They want people in the hex system to be in the Hedron system because inherently hex people understand about protecting the price.
And they did it when they was drunk. I tried to do that last night. It didn't work out.
It's very easy to claim your free Hedron. You go to hedron.pro, you connect your MetaMask to it, and then you go scroll down and all your stakes will be there. It'll say action next to each one of your stakes. You can press mint or claim. And then it'll pull up your MetaMask and do an ETH fee exchange. And then you will accept.
And you don't get the actual tokens.
You mint it at the end of the day, so it's like 24 hours.
So you should get your Hedron tokens today then.
Yeah, I might have it. I might have it already, but I'm not on that computer.
And is there a marketplace for those, or is the primary utility for you to be?
It's already on the market. Hedron's already on the market with the price value. So you're getting Hedron that has a price value that you can sell at any moment.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you know how much it is?
It's like 0.0001.
Okay. Oh, that's fascinating.
But you're getting like millions of it. So
yeah.
So you see where I'm coming from, though? Do you see where this real economic energy comes from, Sam? It comes from inflation. You'll never be able to create enough yourself, Sam. Just use what is already occurring. Remember how efficiency is your most important thing? You want to be more efficient? You know what's most efficient? Making your world's money in 3 years without doing anything. That is really efficient while you're game planning and making money on the ground. So you'll be making money on the ground doing whatever you do, and you'll be making more money that you could ever be making while you're doing nothing. So it's just a motivating thing to know that in a year I have a hex stake coming out that's rather substantial, you know.
How do you plan on, if like, are you going to be using earnings from crypto, assuming that you weren't making like enough in the physical world? Got a spammer, get them hex Luther.
Who's spamming in my chat? Only
Oh,
Luther can spam in my chat.
Neil.
And Paula.
Neil, or whatever this person is here. Let's see if I can report it.
We got 9 active viewers. Hey, if everyone who's viewing this right now could hit the like, hit the bell, hit the share this out, follow Sam, follow me. But if you hit the like and just subscribe, that would be nice. I just want to be able to reach more people with this wonderful conversations that we're having, because I think people really do need to hear this stuff.
And the dialogue back and forth. So you can use Hedron.
Look, boom. Yeah, mining is such a waste of time and energy. That's what I'm saying. Efficiency is our goal. How much can we get done with how much little effort? The government does it for you already. They already inflate everything, and they're saying, park your money here. We'll give you all your money. The government gives me all their money, because at the end of the day, all these checks that are getting sent out, they go to rich people and they park it where APY exists. APY exists in Hex. Therefore, money will be parked there until APY does not exist.
Correct.
And that's just called, that's sticky. When someone says stickiness, that's what they mean. Stickiness is like you can't go anywhere else because the button is cheaper and the button has more value. The greatest buttons are on hex.com website, in my opinion. But when Pulse comes out, the staking function will look a lot different. Pulse is not going to be a CD type of staking situation. It's going to be a normal staking situation where you can put your money into a pool as long as you'd like and take it out whenever you want. But you'll earn a lot less yield because you're not gaining that economic energy from the inflation being pinched to 10% of the staker class. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. So it's more like a normal rate. So the normal rate will be 9 to 11%.
The total pool is inflating by 3 point whatever percent per year in Hex, and currently that 3 point whatever percent inflation, if there was no staking feature, would be spread across all the tokens. But there's only about 10% of it that is staked, so that 3 point whatever percent is spread across just 10% of the token holders who chose to stake, which means that they're getting the rest of the 90%. Inflation put onto them, which then means
let me explain it top to bottom. For everyone watching that might not know this, maybe a couple of my friends from Baltimore are watching. Hey, anyone that can like this, hey, dude, Excelsior, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for coming in the stream. I'm just about to explain the Hex staking protocol. Wait, no, what was I about to explain?
The inflation portion of the stacks.
Oh, so guys, listen, I think I'm good at explaining this kind of, because I've explained it to a couple of people really well. Inflation rate on average is 3.69%. That is the lowest inflation rate per dollar or whatever. So if we just kept our stuff staked on average, our dollars, we would get 3.69% more dollar value. You know what I mean, Sam? So when you stake Hex, what it does is it takes your dollar and it puts it into a pool of everyone else's dollars. But a certain sliver of those dollars is staking. And staking is minting Hex. It's burning and minting Hex. So basically what you're doing is you're pinching the supply of inflation. So 90% of the pie, which the OA has, is not gaining inflation rewards. Everyone else, which is the 10%, is gaining all the inflation rewards. Therefore, it's 9xing that 3.69 rate, coming around 39% at the moment. So you're getting 39% as the max length stake, 4,000 days plus. But really, it's just using inflation. The best way Richard Hart could say, how can I make the inflation pay these guys so that they have a coin that works and that this all works? That's the best way. He's not gaining inflation rewards because the system relies on that, and he made the system.
Yeah. So when you have it staked, Hedron allows you to access that before it's
not access, but collateralize.
So you're basically accessing it because that's what collateralization is.
But you're not moving it or changing it. The hex is staying put. You're
Correct.
just, that's where I get a little confused too about their value proposition long term. But I'm sure oh my God, Crypto Gains Club is in the house. Guys, this is so fun because I'm really a better thinker at this time in the day. I'm not going to lie. I do my interviews at night, but I'm not the thinker I am during the day. I'm not going to lie. And I think you were talking about that too. Let me tell you a little bit about my schedule. Actually, let's talk about, so we went through staking hex kind of. Guys, staking hex is a way where you time lock your money. You're putting your money in the future and you're gaining the inflation rate. The government does it for you guys. They print out enough money and they waste so much money doing so much useless stuff. And people don't want to take advantage of that. Guys, we figured out how to take advantage of that. We finally figured out how to take advantage of that. You stake cryptocurrency because then you're gaining all the inflation rewards that the government's absolutely wasting away. You're gaining the inflation rewards because there's a system that was created to have you have the most portion of the. Are you vaping weed? No, I'm not vaping weed, but I took a huge bong rip before this.
So the definition on Wikipedia, on Investopedia, if you've never used it, is like a financial website, kind of like Wikipedia. It says collateralization is the use of a valuable asset to secure a loan. So you're not necessarily touching hex, but you're using hex to secure a loan against the value of your hex. You guys been kicking ass with the videos. Hell yeah.
Hey, give everyone we'll be doing this full time. I'm doing this full time. I'm making videos for Pulsification. I'm doing Pulsification TikTok. I'm doing this personal show in the morning. I'm making YouTube Reels as an official Pulsification CMO. It's really been fun. This is nothing in my life that has been as fun as this. Maybe bodybuilding the first time when I started getting into that was like just the same feeling I have now. You know, it's the same feeling I have now. It's like, this is it for me. I know I'm going to do this long term and I'm still bodybuilding. So
you pulled up your topic. You had a list of several different things.
Oh, so how you make money in crypto. So we went through Bitcoin mining, or we went through mining, but then you wanted to talk about proof of stake. So proof of stake is just a way to provide economic energy without using energy. By staking, remember when I always say 2 or 3 years and your value will be coming to you, because it's proof of wait. You're waiting. Everyone's locking in their coins. Therefore, they're not selling. So all that sell pressure and waste of energy that comes from Bitcoin, that's not occurring in hex. It's just not. There's not all that dumping going on. Yes, there's dumping. There's huge red candles, but the majority of people are not dumping. And the majority of people in hex more are dumping than a system that was created to stake. So this is just a CD on the blockchain that's decentralized and immutable. And there are other cryptos that do the exact same things, but are they immutable? Do they have 100% uptime? Are they advertised and marketed by the greatest minds in crypto? Is the founder the person that Richard Hart is? Probably not. And it all leads you to the same place. So that's staking. You stake. Your proof of stake is providing economic energy, and proof of work is using real energy, like literal energy.
So I should read something on that. The technical details, right? Because you're from proof of work. You have a computer that's.
But no, but remember when I stake? I'm burning all my coins, and I'm mining. So when I stake my 100,000 hex, they're burnt. And my T-share rate starts to ratchet up. And by the time it's all over, I'll have about 136,000 hex. But I have to wait. If I only go halfway, I only get half that hex. Or there's a rate.
And so the mining on proof of stake is all just an algorithm digital, right?
It's an algorithm pegged to the dollar that is mining on my computer daily. And the payout goes into my account at 8 o'clock every single day.
So when you stake, you don't have to have the computer up, though. Is that correct? Right?
Mm-mm.
So it's all done digitally,
right. It's just an algorithm. You're right. It's just an algorithm. It's just an algorithm, but the algorithm is how the hex is created.
Okay, I've never dove into understanding that. So proof of stake or staking can allow you with hex. You can lock up your money for a certain period of time, which gives you the high.
Here, look. Here we go. This guy got it. You're exchanging your time to support the network, and in return, you're rewarded inflation. So basically, I'm giving my economic energy, my money, my energy to the system and saying, I'll hold it here. and then they're rewarding me with that ratcheted up rate.
Is
Thank you,
that
Crypto Gains Club.
Yes, thank you for the comment. So is that how all of them work? Because there's other ways of staking, right? So your Pulse chain is you can stake into their stability pool or whatever.
Well, this is the way that staking is for people are copying this method now. Like this is the method. Like this is what I think, there's other coins that do the same thing Hex did. They just copied it and the code's not as good because unlike Ethereum, which is open source code, Hex is not open source code. You cannot copy Hex's code. No one can copy Hex's code. Therefore, no one can, I don't know. There's like legality involved in like making things copyable and not. But for whatever reason, you can't copy Hex as far as the code, but you can copy Ethereum, all the code.
Interesting.
Because Richard Hart learned. He was learning. He knew if he went open source, people would copy him smart like him. But you didn't think about that 7 years ago when Ethereum came out. Now Ethereum's going to be another 6 years before they get proof of stake because it's so hard to code on an open system. Hex is a fringe product. Hex has no devs working on it. Hex is done.
So maybe somebody in the comments knows why Hex could just be copied.
Well, no, because Richard Hart made it that way. Illegal. There's a legal way when you make code, you can either make it open source or not open source.
Okay, so
but,
it's just
but
not
like generally source. Crypto is just open source because that's how it was doing, and people didn't really think people would be copying shit like they do now. But I think technology just kind of flung forward, and people are like. And now Richard Hart's like, people just copy Hex and do exactly what I'm doing. So why don't I make it closed source? Because he has the best devs. He knows that he has the best devs in the planet in that, or like that money can buy probably. So
because once you're in the industry of whatever industry that is, you understand who's like.
He owns the best devs. He would buy out the best dev from anyone. I know it for more money because he knows the value of that long term because he's trying to take over. He's not trying to win. He's not trying to make it in this world. He's trying to take over this world. It's a different mind space. Like saying I want to make $100,000 so my family's safe and saying I want to make a cryptocurrency that changes every single human's way they interact with the planet. They're two different places that you're coming from. So people like me and Sam, the way that we think, we can't necessarily reverse engineer what he's thinking in his mind space because we're just not his mind space. But we can wait 3 months later until all the shit he says plays out and then learn enough over time.
Correct. And that's why
Hex already won. People just don't understand yet. Exactly. And Sam knows the way that I talk about it. Because when I talk about Hex to Sam, that's how I interpret it personally. Like we already figured it out. It's just up to people to like buy in. Right. Like,
so this is an awesome comment. So thanks for bringing this up. This is exactly what I saw with Tesla over the last 10 years. I was like, I already fucking knows who's won this game. And after I got off the phone 3 weeks ago with Scott, and he's telling me about it, I get off the phone with him, and it was probably later in the evening, so I'm about to go to bed, and I'm talking to my girlfriend, and I'm like, Scott is excited about crypto and this thing called Hex. Like I was with Tesla, where he sees things that the rest of the market doesn't see. So when there's that discrepancy in what the market sees versus fucking reality, there's opportunity there, massive opportunity, because as soon as the market catches on, that's when that opportunity goes away. And that's what I was telling her the first time you were telling me about this in terms of how excited you were about it.
Yeah, it's just the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, it's the best thing ever. Like that's why it's literally the most value that you can create physically, humanly possible. Like that's literally what it is. Well, yes, I think I know that he's saying Tesla is of the same magnitude of technology in a different field is kind of what he's saying. Like it was the same magnitude of substantiality as far as what the impact on it was. Yes, he might know that the Tesla stock doesn't technically go up as fast as the Hex stock because that's not really what Tesla was meant to do, although it's super successful and the price goes up dramatically, better than any other legacy finance.
Question for the comments and also for you, Scott. So I've been following Tesla for 10 years. I just stopped following them, right? So I saw a lot of shit, and I have an idea in my mind where I believe Tesla will be in the next 10 years.
And you have more insight than others.
Correct. So I believe that Tesla as a aggregate, right, is going to be, and because they might do another split, they might do a reverse split, they might, depending on how the shares go, right? But total, I believe they're going to be well over $10 trillion, the largest company in the planet.
And what's their market cap right now?
800 billion.
Yeah, I would
right,
say
thereabouts.
I'd say 10 trillion is fair.
What about, so do you think, because human hex traffic?
But remember, no, but you remember what I say. Hexicans don't believe in market cap because it doesn't exist. So when you say market cap in any way, shape, or form, Hexicans don't care. They don't think about market cap as an actual unit because they know it's not true. Because Hex has had $150 billion market share at the top. I mean, a market cap at the top, right? Everyone's like, it'll never do another double because it needs $350 billion. No, guys, one dude could put $1 million buy in and it'll double the price. You don't understand why price goes up in stock markets. That's the problem. Price goes up in stock markets because of how much the liquidity gets pinched. It has nothing to do. It's buying and selling. That's it. So if more people buy Tesla stock, it'll go up. But if Tesla comes out with a new rocket and people don't buy the stock won't go up. But it could be the best rocket ever. But that's what Hex is solving. So Hex is allowing you guys to have your Tesla, have your dope ass cars, have all your cool ass shit. And first of all, Richard Hart gives more attention to Elon Musk as a good businessman. Although he's a stooge with crypto, Richard Hart pays respects to Elon Musk in a very honest way about his technology and marketing and whatever he thinks that he's good at. You can't make money on market cap. That's exactly right. You can't make money on market cap. You can actually lose money on market cap. You know how many people didn't buy Hex because they saw $100 billion market cap and they said, I'm not buying or staking? And that was 6 months ago. I mean, the price was up, but still, if you staked, you'd have been making rewards this whole time. So market cap is just a number. I believe that Hex's market cap will be $100 trillion in not that long.
You think 100 trillion?
10 years for sure.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know enough about it.
Because market cap is getting exposed right now. It's people are learning that market cap is bogus because money is bogus. Everything is bogus. The banks are bogus. Bogus. They don't have enough fiat to take out your money. So shut your fucking mouth. As far as not you, but like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but like, guys, they don't have your money. It does not exist in real life. So it's a number on a screen. Use that to your advantage. Use that knowledge to your advantage rather than being like, that's not cool. Why not?
I used to work in banking and they didn't have, like, if you come in for 20 grand, you cannot get 20 grand cash.
It's still the same thing today. It's still the exact same thing today. I said, how long will it take me to get 20 grand cash out just as a seat, like a tell-all? And they said like next week, I think, or something. And I was like, well, like, what if I want it now and to move right now? And like, what happened to freedom of assembly and movement? And what happened to being transparent? And what happened to, oh yeah, no, there's no such thing as transparency. Get your money out of the legacy finance system before you actually convince yourself that they're doing the right thing. Because that's what people do. My family, my friends, they think legacy finance is the shit. And they, not the shit, but they think they're honest. Correct. And they're not honest, guys. And crypto is not honest either, but it's the better non-honest way. And it's the better free imaginary internet money. It's better than the bank's free internet imaginary money. That's just on a screen. It's just a number on a screen, guys. Sam knows that more intimately than anyone.
There would be people coming in for 10 grand, 50 grand cash. They want, because they're doing renovations, they want to pay for the contractor because then they get a discount because the contractor is not going to claim the cash they're getting in. And we wouldn't give them cash. Like anytime I was there and that would happen, I would be like, hey, we fucking have cash in the back. Let's just give them cash instead of fucking making them come back and then 3 or 4 days just to make up a story that we don't have cash. But like most people would just get turned away and they would not get cash when they ask for large amounts. It's disgusting.
Yeah. So guys, you got to buckle up. I'm going to end this shortly. How much time have I been on? I'm going to end this shortly, but guys, you got to buckle up because the wealth transfer is happening now. The next bull market's going to be disgusting. It's going to cut 20% of the finances out of the legacy market. It's going to be just gross. Market caps are going to be disgusting. Everyone's going to forget about that metric because they're going to realize that the number's so high that it doesn't even make sense anymore.
So this could be the last question I ask you and anybody in the comments. Do you see that bull market starting in 2022, or do you see it starting in
End of 2022? Like I would say 6-8 months from now, we should see bull action. But Hex is completely independent from that, in my opinion. And when I talk about the bull market, I'm generally talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. When I bought Hex, it was 2 cents, and Bitcoin was 60K. By the time that 3 months later, Hex was 54 cents and Bitcoin was 30K. So it is independent from Bitcoin. You have to understand that. That's very important, and everyone will tell you it's not. But if you learn more about liquidity and what bonds the pairs together, and whether it's USD or ETH, you can kind of figure out some stuff, and that's a rabbit hole. But yes. What was the initial question?
Bull market.
Yeah, 6-8 months we'll be in a bull market, because think about it, guys. We've been in a bear market for 6 months. We've already been in a bear market for 6 months. Everyone just thought it started 3 days ago. It didn't. It didn't, guys. It's been here. So just remember, dollar cost averaging right now is the best plan for long-term success. You don't want to spend any money that you can't live without or sleep without. Just dollar cost average into these projects. Don't put any money down that hurts you physically. Longer pays better, bigger pays better is the cheat code for Hex. That's right. You spend $1,900, 15 years, you'll gain 6 Hex per day for 5,555 days, which is like 36,000 Hex just for doing nothing.
I want to see how liquidity is generated. Liquidity
is generated by people. So you gain rewards in liquidity. So for example, the DEX, PulseX, that's where the liquidity is. So the decentralized exchange is where the liquidity is. You provide money in liquidity to earn rewards on fees. So whales, what they do is they provide liquidity. Whales only, not fucking plebs. Guys with big money, they provide liquidity and they gain rewards on all the fees. And that's another way. That's called yield farming.
So another way to earn money is kind of
yield
staking within a DEX.
Yeah, it's called yield farming. It's just providing liquidity.
And that liquidity is just a pool of capital or coins that are used.
It's just it's the pool in the thing that one goes buy, sell. Someone adds money, someone takes money. Limit orders, boom, boom, boom. So it's just the money that's actually exchanging. The fiat energy is in the pool, and people put the money in there. That's how they make money.
Is that what the PLSX is going to be? So you could use that and stake in that pool as well?
PLS is going to be different for the staking. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to mention the PLS staking yet until maybe tomorrow I will.
Sam was talking about inflation percent. So the system only pays out 3.69% if 100% of X is staked.
3 separate coins. Exactly. Yes, I agree. That's perfect. Crypto Gains Club. Thanks for the Crypto Gains Club. I'm going to need you at Gerardo's stream tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be wild. We're going to have 400 active live viewers plus. It's going to be super chats everywhere. It's going to be a freaking show. It's going to be great. We're talking all drama within the community. And this is a guy that created a project that has a lot of controversy associated with it.
And
specifically.
Why do you tell people when you're
6 p.m. Eastern on official Pulsification? If you go to my Instagram, if you go to my Twitter, if you go to my TikTok, you will see links from my Instagram, and the thumbnail will be up very shortly. Like within 30 minutes, the thumbnail will be up, and it's at 6 p.m. Eastern. So please see that and join it and comment a lot.
And then this is the last question, and we can wrap it up. Human trafficker, Hex trafficker. I met a guy 3 days ago that paid his granddaughter's college tuition for $50 investment in Hex. So the Hex $50 investment went up so much that he was able to pay his granddaughter's college tuition. That's fucking awesome.
And if you put your whole stimulus check into it at the top, it was like over $1 million on the day of the stimulus check to like the time of the top. It was like $1 million gain.
Well, I saw that it was down again.
Well, no, but I'm talking about the top. Like at this point, everything's down. If you want my price prediction for best times to buy, I'd say an 80% drop from the top is fair. 10 to 11 cents, 9 to 11 cents, 9 to 12 cents would be the lowest buy zone I see.
So we're getting close.
Possible. Yeah, we're dumping right now, but it could shoot up at any moment. So just know dollar cost averaging, doing a couple buys with the less amount of money is always the better way, because you'll never pinpoint the bottom. It's not possible.
Completely.
Unless you make the bottom with your $100 million. Like if you're the guy who's like, okay, I'm gonna buy right now and start the shit. Because that's what people do. Whales decide to buy one day. The whales know when the price is going to go up because they make the price go up. They know
they'll just dump all the money in there.
They're just sitting there waiting for the best opportunity. They're like, when does everyone going to sell all their bags to us? And then we'll start buying again. And then we'll shoot the price. It's manipulated 100% by people that want to be rich and want this to work. So don't think of it as like it's just like finance. It's manipulated.
Financial markets, 100%.
Exactly. It's all manipulated. This isn't like freedom of speech and everything. This is like, we're building something better for the people and you can suck our dicks. It's really what it is. It's just like, he's like, I'm doing this. I'm already rich. Let's go. Like, and he killed it, dude. 3 years, 10,000x at the top. And he was calling, the first stream he ever did, he says Hex was designed to do a 10,000x in roughly 2.5 years. And it did it in a year and a half. And he was saying that before it launched.
So this is the last part. Where do you see the next peak potentially being? $1?
Probably a little higher than that. I'd say the next bull run, like after like 3-4 months of bull run, we'll be settling around that $1.76, $2.05 point, probably. But there'll be a lot of FUD and bullshit and dips in between. But just know every time that Hex does an 80% dip, it roughly goes up 1,100%. So if you do 1,100% from the bottom and then take 80% off of that, you can usually figure out generally somewhat where the price will be at.
Cool. That's gonna be interesting because I'm planning on continuing to.
You can extrapolate the start looking at charts a lot. It'll help you learn. Like you can learn from looking at charts without even doing anything because you like just see the same thing so often that you're just like gaining passive knowledge just by like looking at charts frequently.
There's a lot of research on charts and how like there's not a lot of value in them that I've looked at. So
all right, well let me show you some value then. Why don't I screen share?
Because like if you look, there's something called technical analysis is what people do. They look at charts to try to predict like the future price action of things. And the only market that it seems to be slightly effective in is the foreign exchange market, like with currencies in the fiat world.
All right, I'm going to share my shit real quick. I'm going to make sure I'm not doxing myself in any way.
You should be able to select the tab, I think.
All right.
And then it just should.
I will. No, yeah, I got it. I just got to share screen. Slides, extra camera, video file. What? I want to share the screen. Well, I want to share screen. I see. And then I'll go to my Microsoft Edge and I'll go to right here and I'll share. All right. So you see the screen?
Yes.
This is the entire Hex chart right here. So 2000, you see where it starts over here?
Yep.
Right, early 2000s. Okay, so let's look at this chart right here. What can you learn about this chart? Now, you got to look at it in the way that it actually is. So I'm going to put it in the most realistic stance. If you just look at the chart and you extrapolate it, right? Look at these. Look how consistently it does its thing. It goes up 1,100%, down 80%, up a certain amount of percent, down. But each one of these bull runs are pretty darn close to each other. You see? Like, I mean, yes, it's pulled back, so the angle is a lot smaller. But if you look at the percentages, they're very, very close. Like there are a lot of variable, but we're talking 750 to 1,200% each bull run from the bottom. And so you can predict that. We've gone down. We went up 1,100% right here, and now we're down about 76%. So if you extrapolate, you can't tell people what time it'll pop off because the whales make that happen. So I can't tell you when Mr. Whale is going to start buying, but I can tell you that for the safety and the health of this chart, there's people looking at it and making sure it doesn't get past the point it's at right now. Roughly. I mean, within that 10-cent mark, they're going to just start buying again because that's an 80% dip. That's naturally how things work. And then we'll go to Hex.Vision real quick. Can you still see the screen that I'm on?
Yep. It's still up here with the hex chart on here. And it might be.
You see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Hex.Vision site. So this tells you all the hex stats. So it says total amount of hex locked, 9.643%. So that tells you how much hex is locked total amount. Current addresses, 427,000. Current unique addresses, that means it's from a separate individual, 102,000. And then it tells you how many per day joined. Where does it say that information? It tells you the total hex penalties. It tells you the total hex stake, 61 billion. It shows you every staking address from the top to the bottom. It shows you, and this is when all the stakes come out. So this is a chart of when you want your stakes to come out because you don't want them to come out right near these guys.
So like there's one coming out today, it looks like, or like
tomorrow.
Well,
the chart is always inflated on that side because there's always shit coming out. But like because people do short stakes, like that's a $76 million stake for 194 days that you're seeing. So those are the long short stakes, which don't affect price as much. The long bigger stakes affect price much more.
What did it say that again?
So remember when I said people stake with a lot of money, stake for short amounts of time?
Mm-hmm.
All that inflated action over here is just short stakes. So don't think of that as too much economic energy, but people that put their stuff out 10 years, like this is going to be worth billions and billions of dollars when it comes out.
Oh, I got you because of the inflation.
But this is just a dude that wanted like a couple $100,000.
I gotcha. So they just take it for a short period of time.
So you want to look more at these, like the ones that are laddered in. These are just like all the immediate price action. But and then we can go to Hex, look into hex.com since I'm interviewing the guy who created this website today.
Oh, dope. Question
and then
the staking. To get the max stake, you have to go. How do you what's the minimum?
4,000 days.
So 4,001 days allows you to get the max amount.
Multiplier. Yeah.
Okay.
So do you see this ROI from launch chart that I'm looking at right now?
Yeah.
So pink is Hex. So it's been around for almost 3 years. Ethereum is green. It's been around almost for 7 years. Bitcoin is blue. It's been around almost for 14 years. Hex has outperformed Bitcoin and Hex, the two most explosive cryptocurrencies in all time, in the most explosive times of their career. So you can only imagine from here, if it's already designed to beat all that out now, it probably will likely stay above this for most of the time. I mean, it could dip in a little bit here, dip in a little bit here, but it's healthier than these charts because the protocol, the staking protocol, is designed to be that way. You see how it's held up so well and there's no major fluctuation? Mm-hmm. It's because of the staking protocol. All this would be avoided if there was staking, all these big pumps and dumps by whales, because people are mistaken that Bitcoin doesn't drop 80% every cycle. And it does.
Like well, because that's not a price chart. That's just the ROI.
Well, no, the price chart, it drops 80% every.
No, exactly. That's it. But it's not going to show it on an ROI chart. It's just going to show.
No, on the ROI chart, it's going to say explosive gains.
Yes.
But people don't understand the sauce in the middle. Like they don't understand like the desperate nights, the horrible transactions, the scams, the rug pulls, the people telling you one thing and not being the other. And then when everyone comes in, they want to start buying other shit and people tell you not to. But they're going to do it anyway, and they get wrecked, and then they end up being hexagons because they don't want to get wrecked. Like it's just how it goes. Like you'll get scared shitless out in the field of crypto, and you'll have no one to answer to. So having Richard and everyone on our team, it's like helpful.
Because then you have other people to talk to. Is there an incentive to go anything between 4,000 and 5,000?
Well, you got to think over those last 1,500 days, the price appreciation might be absolutely phenomenal. Therefore, you could be losing millions of dollars by not making it 555. So, yes, I would say I have 4,000 day stakes for sure. Like that's a good number to have for a few of them. But yeah, that's how you gain your T-shares. So just get T-shares. 11 to 15 years is all fair game. 10 to 15 years is all fair game. Like anything, you're going to get wealthy off of that alone. One of those stakes alone. So
Yeah, this will be interesting. Cool.
if it works out, I mean, we could all just be dumb fucks.
No, correct. And that's the only thing that is like, you're like, oh, wait, is this going to.
But it's decentralized, immutable, and it can't be stopped. So you start learning about that shit, and you're like, wait, can this legit not be stopped? And then everyone's like, it legit can't be stopped. Like,
well, then if you look at the growth as an aggregate of crypto, it went from 0 to now it's over $3 trillion.
It went from free. It went from free. It went from
to now
literally giving it away.
Correct. And it's massive at this point. So that's definitely interesting. But I think this is about time to wrap everything up.
I'm going to wrap it up. Let's see how many we had in the chat. 5 in the chat. Thanks, guys. So awesome.
Thank you.
Happy for everything. We're going to do it again tomorrow. Deuces.